It's in the game to memorize everything. And they all look somewhat similar in some cases. Anyway, this right-hand side continues to be a neutral zone, which is good for Feliny, bad for Butcher, as he continues to be sniped by the looks of things. How about trying to snipe this half-track, though? Yeah, baby. Here we go, that's going to move him. Try and find that frickin' sniper and any infantry. Does need to look out, though. There is plenty of places to hide in those bushes. It doesn't seem like Butcher's going to be too careful about it. He's going to drive right up to those trees. But he is an expert player. He probably knows he can see them. Although now it's being fired on. It looks like friendly fire. No, it's an AT rifle hanging back next to the haystack. Wow, what a weird position for that to be in. Straight away, one great explosion from that half-track, just from that AT rifle. Wow. It seems like Butcher now knows this and is well, I can't think of anything he can actually do, but I'm sure he's thinking of a way to thwart Feliny's plan to capture that area. Artillery striking down just near the Matilda. Damages the track. I'm not sure if that Matilda was detracked before. In fact, no, it's not even crewed, so yeah, that's been disabled somewhat prior to the explosion. Wow, I'm sounding like crime scene investigator now. DSI Inuki on the scene, but Feliny is still being relentless and trying to capture this zone. Butcher of Basra just minorly hanging on to it now. He's brought up some reinforcements that's going to hold the line for a little bit. It's a shame I can't see how much money everyone has as like an observation tool. We've got more infantry running into mines. Fortunately enough, though, you can't detonate your own mines, but I do believe that if you're on a mine and the enemy steps on that mine, it's probably going to kill you as well. Butcher of Basra keeping his head low on top of that hill, which is kind of minorly protecting him for now until Feliny starts chucking grenades that way. On the left-hand side, still nothing going on, still no attacks. Not even Medan on his side is attacking this area. He does go out of his way to chuck a grenade behind the sandbags. And gets those two tiddly peeps. And that's kind of a thorn in Fussel-Jack's side right now. He needs to recrew those sandbags. Keep vision there. Hopefully nobody sneaks past them. Because that could be really dangerous for any tanks that Fussel and Butcher has. We've got some grenades being thrown. And again, those mine placements just right in front of the flag. Just Feliny isn't stepping on them. Come on, Feliny. There we go, here we go. No, just pauses. What is it with those mines? Those mines just don't want to be triggered. They're just so close to infantry all the time, but Feliny is just not stepping on top of them. Anyway, more infantry approaching from Feliny. It looks like we've got some smokes being triggered, which means there is definitely going to be some advancing infantry coming up soon. Explosions occurring from somewhere. Say hello to a Churchill crocodile from Butcher of Basra. That's entering straight down the centre of the field, protected by the school building, but only just. I don't think there's any sort of anti-tank weaponry around for Feliny and Medan that can compete with the Churchill crocodile at the moment, so that's pretty much safe being so forward at the moment. On the left-hand side, still nothing going on, so it's just, you know, pretty much the middle and right-hand point at the moment. We're seeing all the action. I'd really like to see some infantry maybe approach on that left-hand side, find out what Medan has there, see what defenses there is, and just probe it a little bit. It will defect some of the attention of Medan from the central position and force him to focus on the left. And if your APM is really good, then basically you can do two tasks a lot better than he can do two tasks, and you'll be winning that way. Which, as we look at this attack, I will continue with what I'm frankly explaining as everyone gets gunned down from Butcher. Oh, huge losses at the moment as this half-track tears all the infantry apart. Anyway, continuing with what I'm saying as Butcher indubitably counters this. I always try to avoid APM battles. I try and be... if I'm fighting on two zones, I will retreat a few units from a zone which I'm not paying attention to. Therefore, I won't lose as much if that area starts to be attacked. I'm just basically identifying the fact that I suck, and I try to... Holy cow, friendly fire from the Orlikon. The Orlikon is doing a Hadoken on its own stuff, and we've got a Daimler pulling that flak. I do hope that Flacky, good old Flacky, isn't damaged. It does appear to be damaged. We've got the Daimler firing on it as it tows it. Oh man, that's not on, man. Not on. That's just no. Court martial for you soon, sonny boy. Anyway, yeah, I was... has that been decrewed now? Holy... Oh, God. All the good stuff happens when I want to try and say something, man. Every single freaking time. Anyway, the flag's been put down, and I'm not going to continue with what I was saying. Half-track crashes into a tree, pauses, and remember, we still have that AT rifle standing up, boldly firing his big-ass weaponry. Damages the engine, and it does appear that this half-track is... In fact, that guy doesn't want to leave it. He's like, no, this is my half-track. You can't have it. It's mine. Go away. I'm going to stay in here until it dies. I'm going down with a half-track, baby. Hell yeah. Anyway, grenades being tossed over the hill, and far away, Teletubbies come out to play. Where the hell did that come from? I don't know. All I know is the central position is yet again being capped. We've got double grenades all the way going just back and forth between both players. All good grenade action. Never forget those grenades. We've got reinforcements now approaching on the left-hand side of the village. And wow, there's a lot of stuff here. We've got a Churchill, we've got a Holikon, we've got a Daimler and a flak and infantry. If only Feliny and Medan had some artillery right now, this could end very badly for Butcher and Fussel. But a common observation I've sort of noticed in these high-level games is artillery isn't really that sought after, as every single player prefers to buy more mobile units rather than a unit which could potentially like damage a heavy armored tank. It doesn't really often destroy it and usually disables it. You know, and what usually ends up happening in like lower level games or whenever you have your own artillery, you get the artillery first, you fire it, the enemy reacts with their own artillery and fires on the position of your artillery, thus killing your artillery, and then they're the ones with artillery to bomb you. And you can't counter artillery at that back. You've just wasted so much money. Anyway, finally this half-track goes down. I'm not sure if that was completely repaired, though. It just seemed like the guy was using the gun on top, which is not a bad idea. It may have been immobile, but it certainly was still functional as a sort of protection to the 50 cal on top. Once again, this zone seems very close to being captured by Feliny, and I've just spat my screen. Ew. My poor screen. And there we go, the new zone is now being neutralised under cover by the smoke as Butcher moves in his infantry, but unfortunately he doesn't have enough infantry in there, enough more expensive infantry in there as well to start capturing that zone. But it does look like they're kind of almost capturing the centre with the assistance of the Churchill Crocodile. I'd like to see a soldier hop in this crater, which he kind of almost has, is a little bit exposed. There we go. Oh, almost being helped into the creator. I am the creator of the world. No, you're a crater. You're a bottomless or bottom full crate. You have bottomless. Why don't you have bottom full? I don't know. I digress from the battlefield, of course. As yet another half-track is completely destroyed. It seems like Feliny was almost trying to repair that behind enemy lines. Feliny with your beautiful voice, but you're a man. Oh, it's so wrong having these thoughts for you. Oh. Anyway, you are capturing that zone now. You very special person that's not a lady is capturing that zone. Butcher and Fussel definitely got to feel the pressure now. They only have 2 zones. The enemy has 3 zones, which means the points are obviously ticking up for them then. And of course there's 2 neutralized zones as well. Butcher and Fussel obviously feeling the pressure, feeling that pain of having to work for their victory this time round. Never underestimate the power of Feliny and Medan, who are equal competitors, more than worthy of going against Butcher and Fussel today. Fussel hopping into the zone, or not hopping, he's running, but You know, there's sprinting in this game, there's walking. Is there walking? I don't think there is walking. I've seen it walking in the campaign, but, you know, not in multiplayer. I don't see the function of walking. But hopping, I think that's something that's been overlooked in this game. We definitely need to see some infantry hopping into zones. It could offer all sorts of benefits, such as confusion towards the enemy. Here comes a weird swooping action attack from a Crusader from Butcher. Very odd angle of approach there. It was like behind his zone, coming from the left-hand side of that point. It was like weird. Felony with an IS-3. Wow, we've got some major banking right here. That's more than a match for a Churchill Crocodile. But Felony not going to overly risk it. Going to be firing. Going to be sticking there, sticking around, firing into the frontal armor of the Churchill Crocodile as it slowly retreats. But I don't think it's retreated quite far enough, ladies and gentlemen. It needs to move further back to be in the safe zone. IS-3 continuing to pop away at the Churchill. It's still in mortal danger. Fussel now has control of that Churchill, so Butcher has now given the Churchill to Fussel. I don't know if Fussel notices it's still under fire. Hopefully Butcher has said something on his mumble saying, "Fussel, you now have the Churchill, yeah. Keep it alive, yeah. Come on, Fussel, keep it. Move it back, Fussel. Doesn't look like the IS-3's priority targeting you now. That's a good thing. We do have smokes in the middle as well, which means I do believe the Russians will be attacking that zone. On this right, though, it seems fairly lightly defended. On the left, it seems lightly defended again, but no pressure there from anyone. ZSU, if only that would go and cover the left-hand side, it could really rain destruction down on all the infantry behind the sandbags. And its only contender would be this Churchill Crocodile, which I do believe Medan is keeping that well out of the way, positioning it behind the school building, which means the Churchill can't get an easy shot on it. And now the Churchill moves up from Fussel, but it needs to be aware of the IS-3's presence. It's still there, still firing on it. Good job that he's keeping the frontal armor faced towards that IS-3. Daimler moving in, almost crashing into the Churchill. Well, it wouldn't have done anything really, but, you know, it would have been a mishap. It would have been one of those TV blooper moments of herpaderpiness. The central zone has been neutralized once again. Nobody is capturing that, even though there's some craters in there that people could be hiding in. Churchill now trying to make a hole through the school building to take out that ZSU. Track damage though from the IS-3. This is really bad news now for the Churchill. We've got a Saboteur moving up. What's he going to do? It's fairly freaking obvious he's going to be calling down some artillery onto the ZSU. It has already been kind of disabled, kind of completely neutralized. I don't see any more point in calling artillery down on it unless you just want to make a light show. It does anyway. It's going to stop it from repairing. At least it does look like it's been completely destroyed though. No, it isn't. It's still occupied. I thought I saw some crewmen get out. Anyway, no chance for it to survive now. Ah, boom. It's gone. No more coming back. Still, Churchill Crocodile is in trouble, and that's going to do a massive explosion itself. Remember, it's the Churchill Crocodile, the Flaming Edition, and oh my god, I completely neglected this right-hand side. Butcher now making his debut appearance on Felony's point. Taking this zone, finally. This is revenge, not Sparta. Crusader tank doing excellent work covering the advancing infantry. They've managed to mostly survive. Unfortunately, the machine gunner from Butcher is facing the wrong way. He needs to be looking in a direction where the enemy is most likely going to freaking attack. But he's sort of looking towards the forest now. Felony with the IS-3 still hanging back there in the bush. Track damaged. Oh, the track is more damaged than it was previously. Increasing the length of time that's going to be taken to repair that and bring it back into action. But it's IS-3 just continues to fire away at that. It's going to be hard for it to get out of the grasp. I just think sooner or later that's going to be destroyed. Anyway, on the right hand side, Butcher sneaking some infantry round, getting some vision. Can now see the T-34. Crusader tank done the correct thing. It's retreated straight away. It's not going to be useful in this fight unless it can sort of sneak around these buildings. But remember, they've got an IS-3 which is being hit by artillery by the looks of things now. That IS-3 could take out the Crusader tank if it wanders too far to the left to support its infantry, and if it goes too far to the right or centre of that zone. then the T-34 will get it. And there's that heavy artillery firing on the IS-3, forcing it to move back a little bit in case it gets tracked. I don't think it could completely destroy it. It's safe from